And Brian Broaddus just looking behind me here. The beautiful weather.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince jacket boy, I cook 'em till they inside out, Brian Broaddus. At the Yamava Resort and Casino in San Manuel, suite that I'm in by Jerry Jones's tower. That's it right there. It looks small, but it's actually massive.
It's massive.
We are here reporting on training camp day 3 here. I'm in the suite. Brian Broaddus is down there on the courts. Just another cool day of practice there, Brian Broaddus. We're gonna go back and forth with the notes. I just want to reiterate, I love what we do here because you got your overall notes, but I'm always focused on O-line and D-line. So just to see how those two sets of notes cross each other, I think we're bound to have an interesting little episode today. Now, Brian, let me just say this. Man, them boys get turnovers, don't they, Brian? Man, it's
crazy.
It's
crazy.
It's crazy. You remember when we had that Dan Quinn defense that led the league in turnovers, and the big talking point that next offseason was how can you sustain turnovers, right? Because it's not like you decide when to take the ball away. It's just kind of, sometimes it's luck. Well, Brian, we know that there's an emphasis here on this Eberflus defense that they want to take the football away. Shotty's come out and talk about it. Eberflus has spoken to players, and players have spoken on his behalf about it. Brian Broaddus, it is ridiculous. Consistently, they're taking the ball away. And I don't even think it's a way that the offense is so bad and sloppy that they're just giving the ball away. It's like the defense is constantly jarring at the football. They're constantly trying to rip it out, or they're constantly giving weird looks to get picks. They don't blitz a whole bunch, but we have seen some exotic looks that'll kind of speed things up a little bit. Some weird looks back there in the coverage that'll cause some of these picks to where Dak got to go to the DBs and be like, hey, man, what the hell was y'all doing so that I can get a little better from it. Brian Broaddus, it seems like it's 3 picks a day. They're averaging three turnovers a day. Well, not 3 picks, pardon me, 3 turnovers a day.
3 turnovers,
2 fumbles and 1 interception. Brian Broaddus, what have you seen from this defense overall and their ability to just kind of take the ball away?
It's funny, Voch, you mentioned that I pride myself on trying to know these jersey numbers.
Yeah.
Well, a number 48 had an interception today.
Zion Childress. I had to look it up myself. I had to look it up.
Yeah. And I usually pride myself on, I'm thinking, my gosh, what position does number 48 Zion Childress play? I was thinking the first thing I thought about was, is he a linebacker? Is all of a sudden he's one of these 4th, 5th linebackers that's going to be playing in these preseason games? It's probably going to have about 7 tackles. And you're thinking like, okay, well, maybe a practice squad guy. But number 48, Zion Childress, is a cornerback on your Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
At number 48, he should be a linebacker, damn near number 50, where he should be maybe an offensive lineman. But lo and behold, in a Matt Eberflus-led defense in a practice, he had an interception today. Sure. But you're absolutely right. And they work on these turnovers, and they work hard at it. And I was mentioning where you can watch these drills. And I was with Eberflus's group yesterday, the linebackers, and it's throw the ball to it. Both linebackers drop in coverage. One linebacker gets a pass. Yeah. The other linebacker goes and picks up a ball off the ground. They're punching at balls. They're hustling. It's almost like it's at night when they're watching film together, that it's almost the badge of honor that if you hustle 25 yards and knock the ball out of somebody's hands. Sure. And now you've got guys like Jake Ferguson running with the ball 15 to 18 yards with both hands on the ball, thinking that somebody is going to knock it out of his hands. So it all really started with Deron Bland running down George Pickens in day 1 and then knocking the ball loose. But one of the interceptions today that Joe Milton had, just a poorly thrown ball that, was like into traffic. They're down in the red zone, probably a pass that he shouldn't have thrown, tried to fit it in there. But man, the defenders are doing a great job of, and Shotty talked about it today when you and I were sitting in the press conference. Remember, he was talking about the triangle and playing the ball out of the triangle. And, and there was, well, what's the triangle? It's when the catch point, there you go, right there, the catch point. and he was talking about how the defenders, how the idea to get the hands through the triangle there. Well, yeah, hey, the defenders, they've missed some plays. Receivers have made some plays, but when the opportunity has kind of presented itself, they have found a way to get their hands on balls or put themselves in position to make interceptions. So that has been that is one of the positive signs that we've seen. Now, on the flip side, that you're probably saying, well, why is the offense turning the balls over so much? Yeah, that's something that, if you're Joe Milton, Dak Prescott, you need to kind of figure out, like, what did I miss in that drop? What did I miss in coverage? What did I miss pre-snap that led me to throw the ball into harm's way?
Brian, as I look down at my Jordan 11s and my Crown Global Media light hooded long sleeve shirt here, Brian Broaddus.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, bro, are we not giving this defense enough credit when we're projecting and predicting success? It's easy to say, well, I have faith in the offense. They've revamped this offensive line and the offensive coaches. And, we talked about the run scheme and how much better that's going to be and how much Pickens brings, to the party. And if Dak is healthy, then we have all the faith in the world in this offense. Brian, have we kind of sold the defense short a little bit? I mean, they got guys over there, too, that can play. We just have a bad taste in our mouth and just seeing them not be able to deal with the run year in, year out, right? And that's still a question we have to deal with. But should we at least be giving this defense a little bit more credit when we're like projecting what things are going to look like during the season?
Well, I'll tell you what, if Donovan Ezraku can continue the path that he's on right now, and you brought this up today, and by the way, very nice job on 105.3 The Fan on the G-Bag Nation coming and giving some knowledge. We really appreciate that. And you were talking about and the question was presented to you about this team's pass rush. And you brought up when the team finished second a few years ago in pass rush, and you went through all the cast of characters, and you started to say, well, wait a minute, can Donovan Ezraku be better than and then you started Dorrance Armstrong and, naming folks like that. And, I just from what I've seen so far, it's through 3 practices and we're not in pads. We got to keep saying that. But, man, it is hard not to notice Fowler, Ezraku, Sam Williams, and those guys getting after this offensive line. Yeah. And Mike is not even there, and they are getting after. I mean, when they got forced to have to play red zone football, there was Dak threw an interception that Donovan Ezraku would have had a sack on. Yeah. I mean, he beat Guyton out of his stance to the point I looked at Archer and go, was he offsides? And Archer goes, Fischel didn't throw a flag. And I'm like going, okay. But he was around Guyton so fast that it would have been a sack. And I think to your point, the question and the way you answer, you're like, listen, you get a guy that could get 6, 8, 10 sacks. And that's kind of what the player that Donovan Ezraku is looking like right now. He's looking like a guy that the learning curve is very, very small. He knows how to rush the passer. He's got the type of body, the understanding. He knows where to finish at the quarterback. He could break down blockers. Yeah.
Over there, he's on the he'll be on the left side of you guys.
He'll be on the left side. Yeah, exactly.
Go back a little bit, just one time. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, we get but
I'll show it later. I'll show it later.
Yeah, I'll show it later. Yeah, I mean, if you're new to the program, hey, welcome, thank you. Yeah, just go to Voch's Twitter. He's got a bunch of great clips to kind of follow along, and so to me, that's, man. If you tell me, we thought that Ezraku was going to be good. And it's kind of like
rookie good, though. You know what I mean? We thought he was going to be
remember when Overshone first burst on the scene?
Sure.
And everything was like,
he's tackling,
man, who is this? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? He's everywhere. Who is this Overshone? And you were thinking, man, if he could just keep it going, he's a rookie. How does he keep this going? Man, he's a good football player. Remember we were watching him at Texas?
Yep.
I kind of feel the same way, that we're having the same type of vibe, discussion, feeling about Donovan Ezraku that we had with Overshone 2 years ago when he first came in the league, and like how impressive he was playing defense.
Yeah. Donovan Ezra.
But that's what I'm saying.
Guy.
I think we're I think that to me, and you could explain it again to our listeners,
Sure.
but I think that the thing that we weren't giving them enough credit were the turnovers are really clear.
Yeah.
The pressure is really clear. The run defense, I think, kind of comes and goes.
Hold that.
Bit.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about
that. Okay.
Let me ask you this. So a couple of weeks ago, I asked you if you had to project how many sacks you think Donovan Ezra gets in his rookie season. I believe you said like 8.
I said 8, yeah.
Said 8. Just to be clear, in that season where the Cowboys were second in sacks with a total of 54, Dorrance Armstrong was your second most sack getter, and his number was 8, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the good number to kind of look and reflect on. I think that you'll have Micah. I think Dante Fowler will be a double-digit guy. I just think him in this system. Dante was the main guy over there in Washington. He's the second guy here. Donovan Ezra is showing us that, if he has any type of old man nuanced football bone in his body, it's in pass rush. He has to develop some other things he's running with the second team that's clear. But if he could do anything, he can get off the football and rush the passer right now. So I think the proper comparison would be, can Donovan Ezra be better than Dorrance Armstrong? But just think about that. That's our third guy now versus the second guy at that point. Please go ahead.
Well, could he be better than Dante Fowler? See, that to me is, could he be the second highest sack guy on the defensive line?
Sure.
And he is surely showing through 3 practices. And Todd Archer looked at me and goes, I texted somebody last night in the organization and said, hey, Donovan Ezra is going to be a problem. And I mean, a problem in a good way, not a problem that you're going to have, real problems with.
Yeah. But
teams are going to have problems with him because he understands how to rush the passer.
Yep.
He knows how to break linemen down. He's got a veteran presence to his game.
Man, Broaddus, as I sit up here in the Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel.
By the way,
sweet here.
Can I say something real quick?
Hell yeah, bro.
Here, congratulations to you with your over your 100,000 subs.
Yeah, appreciate you.
But this casino right now for 3 days has been getting some pub. They should be. If you're interested, check out my man Voch Lombardi, the YouTube page. Yeah, my man, you're giving this casino some pub on this channel today.
It just sounds fancy, but I'm up here in a section, right? That's just sponsored.
It's a beautiful place to watch practice. When I was with DallasCowboys.com last year, that is where I watch practice from every single day. They won't let me up there with my media pass anymore. Yeah. But when I had that fancy Cowboy pass with my picture on it, that's where I sat and watched practice.
Damn. Brian Broaddus, hear me out. Okay. Our 10-play theory. We always talk about if you got 10 plays, how do we evaluate the wins and losses? You mentioned earlier the run defense is up and down. I do agree with you. It is up and down.
Yeah.
I think that's just because your interior offensive linemen aren't BSing around this year.
They're not BSing around. No.
When I see the Osa versus Tyler Booker fight, I sit up in my seat a little bit. I know what Osa and Big Tyler is like. They're going to have their little matchups. I think Big Tyler gets them for the most part. That's perfectly fine with me. But Osa should have the advantage over Tyler Booker. Booker's the rookie.
He should.
Right?
He should.
So we're sitting up and we're watching that. Brian, it's a back and forth. And I think that's where the meat of the matchup is, because we have faith in the double team now. Once upon a time, if Connor McGovern was out there, if Brock Hoffman was out there, it wasn't a guarantee that you'll get movement on that double team. Sometimes you'll get stalemate. Brian Broaddus, it don't matter who the hell is in A-gap, whether it be BB and Big Tyler or BB and Booker. The double team moves bodies. We were watching a drill today. It's on my Twitter.
Yeah.
Y'all can go see it, where they were working off the timing of coming off the block and the linebacker, because that's going to be important. You can't just double team people into oblivion. At some point, you got to come off and deal with the linebacker. I think they did a pretty good job of that. But the big matchup is on the single block. So not whoever's double teaming A gap guy, but whatever side is dealing with the B gap dude. That's the fight you're looking for. So there were a couple of times this time where it was Booker and it was Osa. And Brian, I don't know if this is good on Book, bad on Osa, bad on Book, good on Osa. I don't know exactly which one it's going to be, but it seemed to be. They're playing some music out of our tower here, so we're just going to keep on talking. Brian, it seems like it was 50-50. It seems like out of 10 plays, Booker would be giving Osa a hard time. Osa give Booker a hard time back. Like, nothing's easy. Nobody's getting whooped, but it is a little back and forth there. And I think that's where the meat of the run game or the run defense is, right? Brian, tell me what you saw from the interior three. Tell me what you saw from the double teaming of the nose, and tell me what you thought about when you saw Booker go with Osa.
Yeah, and I just want to say thanks for inviting me down to your world. I moseyed on down there for the I was trying to answer a question in my mind. Is Connor Riley coaching the offensive line? And also thank you for putting out the tweet during practice. Hey, Connor Riley is your offensive line coach, and Clayton Adams is a observer. When the drill's over, he might, as the guys are waiting to go again, he might be back there pointing somebody out, pulling somebody aside. He did that, with our young Nate Thomas, the tackle. He pulled Nate Thomas aside, had kind of working a little technique, working hand placement. So I was down there just checking that out. And Connor Riley he's coaching the offensive line. Yeah. So I learned that. I also learned that this is going to be a power gap scheme team running the football. They're going to use the quick passing game, I think, to kind of supplement some outside runs. I'm not going to say that they're not going to completely try and run the ball outside, but I think this is going to be hip to hip, push, release, get to the second level. It worked a couple of different times again today. The first practice, day one, very effective. Gaps, able to run the football. Yesterday, a little bit more, got a little shut down by the defense. Today, they were back to creating a little bit more gaps in the running game. And a lot of it was inside. It was hard push, press the hole, then make a cut. And so that's what we were seeing. But when you get those inside three, and they had no Terrence Steele today, by the way. Terrence Steele is it's something, let me just say real quick. I asked some people in the organization about it. He's dealing with an ankle injury. They are trying to get to the bottom of what it is. He never made it out to the practice field today. Maybe something happened late in the practice, and then he was off, and something happened overnight to where they had to go get this checked out. As of this broadcast right now, I have not got an update on that. I just got the text that said we are working through some things. So the right tackle today was Akeem Adeniji was playing. We'll get into that a little bit later, but they still were able to get some push because those inside three, as you mentioned, have been coming to play. Yeah. And when they get hip to hip and they push and they get somebody going backwards, they could push that defensive tackle into linebackers and make those linebackers run the hump. And you saw Deuce Vaughn with a couple of good carries, Sanders with a couple of good carries. And that team is going to be a power gap scheme when it comes to running the football.
Brian, I think that this running back situation is going to be a little more muddy than people think, and I don't think they're going to like it. But I think your old men running backs are further ahead than people think they are.
They are.
I think it's going to get weird for a lot of guys. Something else that's kind of going to make the run game a little weird is Turpin might be one of your top three running backs. I've seen more Turpin at running back than I've seen Deuce and Jadon Blue, honestly.
Blue, yeah.
And it really occurred to me, Brian, when the Cowboys they were running like some red zone, maybe it was like a little bit out of the red zone period going into it, and there was a play. This happened back to back. Deuce Vaughn was at running back, and they'll motion him out to wide receiver, and he'll go do things, right? Jada Blue did the same thing. I was like, all right, cool. Jada Blue does those things.
Right.
Then Brian, this really got me. Kevontae Turpin lined up at running back,
Yeah.
and they motioned him out to his world. His world
Yeah.
is running back.
Yeah.
So then I
Yeah.
started thinking about, damn boy, you don't want a linebacker going with Turpin outside in his world. And that just made me think, if Schottenheimer's really gonna mix things up better than what Mike McCarthy did. Mike McCarthy didn't take advantage of that Turpin being a running back type guy, by the way. I actually did a whole video on that. Turpin only got like 16 carries or something like that, goofy. But if Schottenheimer's really gonna be forward thinking in his offense, I saw it and it struck me, Brian. I say, damn, you're gonna bring a linebacker out into an island.
Yeah.
Kevontae Turpin like that. Like that's going to be a matchup that can benefit you. So now you see Turpin doing things that Jada Blue was marketed to do. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't want people to get discouraged about what I'm saying. If anything, it's a good thing. You don't want to walk into your season being pigeonholed into going with the 5th round pick or the 7th round pick. Miles Sanders is making things weird. Javonte Williams is making things weird. Kevontae Turpin is making things weird. Deuce Vaughn, who's a good preseason player in general, is making things weird for these guys. So if anything, I think you should be a little more optimistic about running back, but it may not go the way that you think it's going to go.
Yeah, I think there was one time today where they had to stop the play because I think Blue went to the wrong side. He lined up the wrong way, and I'm like, and Dak noticed it and kind of walked in and was trying to help. And it was like, okay, huddle, and then Blue he was on the left side. He should have been on the right side because what he was going to do was he moved from the right side to the left side. And then, and it was going to work from there. They did something too interesting today, Voch. I don't know if you saw it or not. Did you see the fake 2-man screen that they ran today?
No,
a couple of different times.
I was focused on the O-line. Please tell me what happened.
I know. This is kind of scheme creative, is that it was Hunter Lipke as the fullback or the wing, and what they did was they went out at the snap, he went to the flat and the back went with him, whether it was Williams or Sanders or those guys went with him. So what it did was it created like a 2-man screen to the outside with Hunter Lipke being the lead guy and then the running back behind him with everybody else staying solid.
You shake does
so
that.
What
you shake does.
Yeah.
Go,
so what they did was they create the 2-man screen, and then what happened when the defense expanded to try and think, 2-man screen, they ran Ferguson inside and just hooked him up. So all of a sudden you get flow that creates space, that creates gap to throw the ball inside to Ferguson. And they did it like a couple of different times where they're like, okay, fine. We're going to put some stress on you. Fake 2-man screen to get the space, and then put the tight end up the field and turn him around. And it's 6-7 yard gain. Just boom, throw the ball right there. And it's so creative ways. They did try and throw a screen today. And our man Ezeraku, though, blew it up. I mean, he was up the field and like, wait, he just read the screen, and that's going to be a -7 right there is what it was going to be. Yeah.
Brian, on that point about the Joe Milton huddle, I do notice over the past 3 practices that when he's at quarterback, they have to, like, they'll go out, but they'll re-huddle and then go back and
yeah.
Now I'm firm in my research. Like when I'm on something, I'm gonna keep going till I figure it out. But I've been trying to figure out the huddle has become so much more important this year because they break it at different tempos. I've been talking about that throughout the week. And
they throw their arms up. You see, the coaches all throw their arms up. Like they'll all start waving their arms, and then that gets them to the line. So that might be their sideline signal. Like. The play's over, they're coming back, and then all of a sudden you see the coaches start waving their arms, and everybody turns around and runs to the line, and they run a play out of that quick formation or quick no huddle is what they're trying to do.
I think breaking the huddle is going to be incredibly intricate to what they do this year.
Yeah.
And even if you listen to Shadi talk in the presser this morning, he was mentioning, man, the here we go cadence is cool, but we're not going to do it every single time. What that mean to
Yeah.
me is sometimes we gonna run to the ball and just go. Dak
Right.
even said that.
Right.
Dak even said that. Sometimes we're
Right.
not gonna go up there in motion and move around. Sometimes
Right.
we're just gonna fly. So all the pieces are kind of coming together, like with all these talking points that
Yeah.
we just been mentioned and whatnot. And I think it's very important. And to me, it means that they're talking about the details, right? If Joe Milton
Right.
and his crew, if they're not breaking the huddle correctly, if they're not going to the proper side, how can you shift properly if you don't line up in the right place?
Yeah.
So what that means to me is that the offense is just taking even more steps to try to just do something different to try to get an edge on that.
Yeah. I noticed too, and I think you probably did as well, more CeeDee Lamb motion today.
For sure.
A little bit more. Usually it's like it's sometimes you get the Pickens motion, but it was a little bit more CeeDee Lamb, like starting in the slot and then coming across. And you could tell as he was traveling, he was looking at the defense to kind of feel what he was going to have to deal with when he got to the other side.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb's a smart player. I mean,
Sure
he's a
is.
smart football player because, him, Pickens, and they've been doing a lot with him they've been putting like three wide receivers to one side, whether it's Tolbert, Lamb, Pickens, all to one side, and then kind of operating from that point of attack.
Let me check my notes, see if I got anything else for you, Brian Bruss. We talked about the old man, Donovan Ezraku. We talked about the interior. Both quarterbacks kind of ran around a little bit. Of course, Milton's going to run around and use his legs. There were some design quarterback runs for Milton, which I noticed.
Yeah.
But Dak scrambled and ran out of a passing set today.
He did.
So I thought
He
that was
did.
important.
He did.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, no, there was one time where Flus brought pressure and the offensive line got overwhelmed. And by the time Dak got back, it's like he had nowhere to go with the ball. So he just planted, got small, went forward, found a gap through the middle, like the A gap to the right of BB. He found some seam there and then was able to kind of get through. And of course, nobody's going to tackle him or anything like that. But that was Dak like, this is not good. I'm out of here type thing. Maybe the best play of the day was Joe Milton on that RPO. And he'd been running the ball. He'd been getting the ball to the outside. He'd having some success. He pulled the ball, and I believe it was Tyrus Wheat was out there.
Yeah.
And Wheat
91.
didn't budge. And Wheat was trying to force him, like he was trying to make the play in space. And Milton took the ball as far to the sideline as he could, and he stopped, and he caught vision of Turpin running across the field with Hall on his back. And Milton just stopped and dropped down sidearm and fired it, like just slung it in between the defense. And Turpin just kept running, and he caught the ball and then was able to kind of get up the field to get, and then get out of bounds. But that was Joe Milton, like making something out of really nothing. I mean, it was like he was dead to rights, just stops. He sees Turpin, drops down, and then fires a shot. It's one of those, no, Joe, just go out of bounds. Just take the loss, and we'll fight another day. Mm-hmm. Nah, Joe Milton said, "Here, hold my beer, and I'm going to plant this foot. I'm going to throw it sidearm to a receiver running full steam across the field." Hey, good job by Joe finding it, but even better job by Turpin seeing his quarterback was in a little trouble and not quitting on the route.
Man, Brian Bruss, what the hell are these people gonna do when we go back to Texas and they gotta find some better coverage than this and they won't be able to look for it, Brian? What the people gonna do, man?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna miss this place. I know we got some more time here. I know you got till Wednesday, and then I've got till the following Saturday. But this is a hard place, man. It's a great place because the weather's beautiful. It's all conducive. You don't have to survive or practice here. The weather allows you to practice at a great pace. The players aren't just struggling to get through a practice like if they were in a very hot and humid conditions. It's just a great place to evaluate football practice. And I think the thing that I'm really the most excited about through 3 days, with tomorrow being an off day, if I had to look back, I think, Voch, I'm excited the fact that every other series there's a win by the offense or there's a win by the defense.
Yeah.
And it's not just one side of the ball just kicking the other one's ass. It is they might give up a play on defense, but the very next play they're knocking the ball loose, or the very next play they're getting a sack, or the very next play they're getting an interception. It's been very, very balanced between the first 3 days. Some really good stuff. Some players that needed to have a good start to camp. Brevin Spann-Ford needed a really good start to camp. I think he's got a good start. Tyler Guyton, I know there's been some Guyton not perfect, but I think overall Tyler Guyton is off to a good start in this camp. And I just kind of like where I like the coaching staffs, the enthusiasm about it. The practices have got a lot of pace to them. I'm looking forward to seeing when we get to Sunday, the pads come on Sunday and Monday. Those will be two really good quality days for us to evaluate.
Brian, you made a really good point. I just think it's important to reiterate there that the offense is getting wins too. I know we're opening up and we're talking about the defense and getting their turnovers and things like that. That's just because we're excited that the defense is probably going to be a little better than we think. But the offense is running the football. Dak, Lamb, and Pickens, they are connecting.
Yeah.
Ferguson, Brevin Spann-Ford, they are connecting. The running backs are a little better.
Ferguson too. Ferguson, yeah.
Yeah. The guards and center, they're moving people. So just as excited we are as we are for the defense, we are equally excited for the offense. It's almost like we expect it for the offense, and the defense is just shocking us a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, no, it's good to see the defense make plays. I think some of the biggest question marks were not so much about the pass rush, which so far has been pretty good. The run defense has been okay. There have been times where they've been gashed, and then there's times where they've stacked plays. And I mean, Damone Clark, I've talked about somebody that needed to have a good start to camp. Damone Clark at linebacker, having a good start to camp with the way he's played with some physicality, like the pads, that'll be very exciting. So we got one more day on Saturday of kind of working through some things with the helmets and t-shirts and stuff like that. And then, Sunday and Monday, we start to kind of get a little bit better idea of really, how is this power gap scheme going to work? And then will they be able to, will the backs they currently have be able to run the ball with some zip that we've seen? And but so far so good in a lot of those ways.
Me and Brian Broaddus are going to get some food now. We appreciate everybody for tapping in with us. He's down there on the course. I'm up here at the Nameless Hotel at San Manuel. Sweet section here. You know what I'm saying? But we appreciate y'all for tapping into our day 3 coverage. The Cowboys aren't practicing tomorrow, but we'll probably still do a show. Brian Broaddus, we'll probably still show up and do something.
Yeah, we absolutely. Yeah, we'll recap the 3 days and kind of maybe talk about some guys that have caught our eyes and maybe some guys that maybe need to kind of step up as we get ready for those padded practices.
We're going to keep on working. Y'all be sure to tap in with me at VOCHLOMBARDI, and that's BRY Yen Broaddus. Y'all be sure to go over there. Crown Global Media Studio is on the way. Y'all be sure to keep your eyes open for that, all right? You hold it down. We love y'all 2 pieces. Until next time, all right? Crown.